We do have our ultimate, we're just waiting for a good time to use it. We're going to activate our 3, get the increased movement speed, we blink, and we're able to get the pick with our 1. The Morgan transforms into Hera. We get a polymorph onto the Serb, get him with the 1. He dashes, so we're going to use our ultimate, that gets the knockup. We're going to activate our 3, that's going to radiate damage, and he's going to do some bonus damage. We use our beads to avoid the push. We hit the 2 and the 1, and we get the pick right there. Follows here. Apollo goes down to the Morgan. What a do, skibbity boo! It's your boy SeanyB Gaming, and today we're gonna be playing some Hera in jungle. If you are new to the channel, I upload every single day. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right and what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If you are a returning viewer, you can pretty much play anything in jungle as long as you get jungler's blessing and rotate correctly. So we're going to test that theory with Hera. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hera's kit. Hera's 1 has 2 forms of damage. It has cone damage and it has fist damage. Hera is going to summon a cone in front of her that's going to knock back all enemies into wherever your box targeter is. Argus is going to slam both his fists on the box, and if it connects with both fists, it's going to deal 15% extra damage. Hera's 2 is one of the best CC abilities in the game. Hera's going to shoot a line attack that's going to transform enemies into jungle camps. It's called Polymorph. Hera's 3 is Divine Shroud. Hera's going to give herself a shroud, which is going to give her a shield and temporarily increase her movement speed as long as the shield remains. If Argus is active, Argus is going to shine with the same divine power as Hera, causing him to deal radiant damage and move at an increased rate. So whenever you activate this 3 while Argus is active, he's going to gain a 15% increased movement speed. Hera's going to get a shield, and Hera's going to get 15% increased movement speed. Hera's ultimate is Argus. Hera's going to be able to summon Argus. It's going to land on enemies and knock them up. Argus is then going to attack the nearest target. Hera can control Argus like a pet, so you can choose which target you want Argus to attack. When recalled, Argus will defend Hera and attack anyone that gets too close. Argus has a hit chain that starts with a normal basic attack into a ground AoE, slowing enemies by 20%, then into a line attack. Hera's passive: every time Hera does damage to a god with her abilities or her basic attack, her ultimate is going to be reduced by 1 second, and the Divine Shroud's cooldown is going to be reduced by 0.33 seconds. If Argus is active, he's going to be healed instead. So we did not establish enough lane pressure to really be able to invade their red securely, so instead we're just going to go for our red buff right here. In terms of the build, we're going to be going with Jungler's Blessing, and then we're going to be going tier 1 of Bancroft's Talon. Then we're going to be going into some boots. We might be able to get some damage off, we might be able to get a pick right here. There's no support for us. We're going to blink in. We miss our 1, which is the majority of our damage, so we're going to use our 3 to get the shield, reduce the damage that we take, and peel out with the increased movement speed. If we would have hit our 1, there's a chance we would have had enough damage to get the Hercules, but I kind of don't think so. So we're going to rotate out. Scotty is now back. Scotty gets hit by Hercules up lane, and I think she's about to go down. That is unfortunate. I don't think us leaving got her killed. I don't think us being there would have really helped too much. Plus we're jungle, so we're going to want to rotate out and hit camps. We're going to go ahead and back. Our speed is going to be up relatively shortly. We are not getting there right as it respawns, so that is one thing that we could improve as jungler. You always want to try to be arriving at speed right as speed spawns. Let's say it takes me 7 extra seconds to get speed. Well, that means that speed isn't going to spawn for another 7 seconds. So each delay in between the time that you pick up speed buff is just going to add throughout the game. If the enemy jungler is able to beat me to speed multiple times, they're going to be able to rotate around the map a little bit faster than I am. So you always want to try to be there for your speed if possible. We got our speed, we're doing fine. It's just a small thing that could be improved. We drop blue for Bologna. We're going to go ahead and rotate mid after this Harpy camp. After our first rotation, we backed and picked up the tier 2 version of boots. We want to make sure we have enough money for at least the tier 2 version of boots. The tier 1 version of boots is not going to give us any power, whereas the tier 2 boots does give us a little bit of power. We're going to go ahead and hit our red buff. We didn't even check to see where they were in mid. Pretty safe to assume that they're at the red buff. We just now get our ultimate, so if we make a rotation, we can probably get a pick here.
Enemy missing left.
We call in the ultimate onto the Hercules, we polymorph him. Scotty's able to get the pick. We're going to send Argus onto Apollo. We tag him with our 1. We activate our 3 now that he's on Apollo. Gets a little bit of damage off. We're going to have to fall back. So we don't want to overstay in this lane too long. We're going to cast our abilities. We're kind of low on mana, so we're going to go ahead and head out. We're going to go ahead and back. Our speed is going to be up in about 15 seconds. We're going to go ahead and pick up the cooldown boots. Try to get some cooldown online as soon as possible with Hera. We are also going to be going into some lifesteal, so we don't really need the lifesteal boots. We make it to our speed pretty much as it spawns. We're going to go ahead and start another rotation, going speed, blue, and harpies. Humbats is making a gank attempt onto the Morgan right now. The Morgan changes into the Humbats. We're going to go ahead and rotate that way, see if we can clean any of these people up or get the Morgan out of there. We miss our 2 onto this Raw. We miss our 1 onto this Raw. And we're kind of just hanging out now because we missed our abilities. If we did not miss our abilities, I think we would have had pick potential on that Raw. Looks like they're making a play for their red buff. We're going to go ahead and clear this wave in mid. We get a basic off onto Humbats. Raw's here, we're going to go ahead and use our ultimate. We're able to get the pick onto Raw. Next we're going to stick to the Humbats. He's able to dodge my 2. We miss our 1. We're going to peel back because Apollo's now here. We do not have our shield because we use that for bonus damage from Argus. We're going to start peeling away. Morgan provides a little bit of peel for me. We get a polymorph off onto 2. Scotty rotates in. Now it's a great fight. Argus is still alive somehow. We activate our 3 so he starts radiating damage and gets increased movement speed. We get our 1 off onto the Apollo. We're going to peel back so that way Argus can do a majority of the damage. We cast our polymorph and we're able to clean up the Hercules. So now that we've kind of cleaned up the enemy red buff and everybody that was trying to get it, we're going to make a play for our red buff. We're going to need Kumba to tank a little bit of this damage for us. Our speed is up in 20. We're going to go ahead and hit this Harpy camp because we're right here. And then we're going to back and start another rotation. So we are going to be picking up Bancroft's Talon. Bancroft's Talon is going to provide us 100 magical power, 15% lifesteal, and 150 mana. It has a passive that we can gain additional power as we lose health. This scales from 100% health, 0 additional power, and then once you hit 25% health, you're going to gain an additional 100 power. And it scales in between that. So the weaker you are, the more damage you deal, which can be very effective. It might not be the best first item on a jungler, but it has the potential to give us 200 power at a point where nobody else is going to be able to compete with that level of power. And it's also going to help us sustain. We're able to use our 2, cancel the Cerberus out of his flames. Tag him with the 1. We have our ultimate. We cast our ultimate, his dash is down. We're going to activate our 3. Argus gets blown up. We use our 1. Cerb's still hanging around. He jumps in aggressively. We miss our 2, so it works out perfectly for him. We're going to cast our 1, and we're able to get the pick onto the Cerberus. Activate our 3, we're going to run away from this Humbats. We do have our blink in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and blink out, even though Humbats pulled back. Letting Ballonin know that we should take this blue. I have enough health, and I'm already over here. Drop the blue, now we're going to rotate out.
Thanks.
So we have enough money for our Bancroft's Talon, and we're pretty weak. Pretty good reason to back. We're going to go ahead and start making our way to our right jungle. Our red buff is still up. The Morgan goes down, so we are going to step up and get the XP and gold from these minions. We do have our ultimate. Scotty is flanking from right lane. We're kind of just trying to stay alive. We're going to use our ultimate, activate our 3, that's going to radiate damage. We change the targets to raw. Argus, do your thing. Do your thing, Argus. I think Hercules is going to be able to get out. We're going to send in Argus. Oh, we could use Argus back. We use our line attack, we're able to get the pick. Ooh, so we used our line attack, but they were debuffed from the Morgan's, I think it's her 2. Could be her 1 or her 2. But the Morgan was able to actually get the damage to get the kill right there. So I damaged Hercules, and that activated the Morgan ability that was on Hercules. And then the damage from the Morgan's ability was the one that actually got the pick. Apollo's a little out of position, so we should be able to clean him up, no problem. The Morgan is able to get the pick with the bonus damage from her 2. We get our 1 off. Kumba is able to get out. Kumba gets a stun. Humbats uses his ultimate. Humbats is still here. We're going to use our polymorph. We're able to connect. Hit him with a basic attack. Miss him with the 1. Oh my goodness. Scotty's able to clean him up. Their red buff is here. We are healthy enough to take it, so we're going to start working on that. Our speed is down, so we're going to go ahead and back and then start a fresh rotation. After going into Bancroft's, we are going to be going into the Spear of Desolation. Spear of Desolation is going to provide 110 magical power. It's going to provide 10 magical penetration, flat penetration, and 10% cooldown. Kills or assists on an enemy god are going to reduce all of your cooldowns by 2 seconds. So we got this over Spear of the Magus because we want that 10% cooldown, and we also want its passive that if we are getting assists or kills, we're going to be reducing the cooldown of our other abilities. We want to, oh no, we tried to blink and use our 2, but our blink didn't get off, so we just casted our 2. We use our ultimate, we hit Serb with our 1, and we're able to clean him up. So with Spear of the Magus, great item, works on a lot of characters. I chose Spear of the Desolation because I really want to be able to use Hera's ultimate as often as possible, and between the passive and the 10% cooldown, I think that outweighs the bonus damage you could get from Spear of the Magus. I think Spear of the Magus is guaranteed to do more damage, but Spear of Desolation could potentially allow you to get your abilities off more throughout a team fight. We're going to rotate mid. Does not look like there's a whole lot of action going on. Hun Bats is pretty deep in the right side of our jungle. We're going to see if we can pressure him. We tag him with the polymorph, tag him with the 1. We're going to activate our 3 so he can't really damage us. But now we're in kind of a weird position where all of our abilities are on cooldown. Tag the Apollo, we miss our 1. Our 1 is a majority of the damage, our 2 is kind of the setup and peel ability. Bunch of people here. We're going to activate our 3, get increased movement speed. Since our shield is gone, we lose the increased movement speed. We're going to activate a polymorph, get 2 people. Activate our 1, it's a little bit short. We need to watch out for this Raw. I think he's going to have surprising amounts of damage, and if we get tagged by him, we're going to lose a majority of our health. We do have our ultimate, any kind of setup, and I think we're going to be able to get a pick right here. Interesting. We miss everything off of that setup. We kind of just shot our 2. He gets launched into space. We use our 1, but as soon as he lands, he dashes out of it. Hercules is pretty deep and left. somebody's on the enemy red buff, we're going to activate our ultimate, cast our 2, we're going to activate our 3, get the radiant damage and the increased movement speed, and we're able to get the pick onto the raw. We're going to make our way mid, clean up this wave. Apollo's landing on us, very interesting decision. Land on a Kumba and Argus. We're going to activate our 3, Argus is on him, eating a majority of the damage. We're going to activate our 1, and we're able to get the pick onto the Apollo. 7-0-7, things are looking good this game. We're going to go ahead and make a play for Gold Fury. Without either the Scotty or the Morgan, I don't think we're going to be able to get Gold Fury, so we just back right there. After going into Spear of Desolation, we are going to be going into Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver is going to provide 95 magical power. It's going to provide 300 mana and 10% magical penetration. It has a passive that 2% of the target's maximum health is going to be removed whenever you damage them with an ability. If the target has under 2,000 health, it's going to be 2%. If the target has over 2,750 health, it is going to be 7%. And in between the 2,000 health and 2,750 health, it is going to scale from 2% to 7%. Subsequent hits on the same target are going to do half of the bonus damage. We get blinded from raw. We're getting pressured a lot in mid right here. We're going to wiggle back a little bit. Kumba goes down. We're going to cast our 1. We get a little bit of damage, but there is no way we were really going to be able to protect them. So we're going to pull back. We do not care about this tower. Our main objective is to protect Phoenix right here. We can delay that by hanging out in tower a little bit. We're going to do that. But I think they're going to be able to get this tower, no problem. We do have our ultimate. We're just waiting for a good time to use it. We're going to activate our 3, get the increased movement speed. We blink, and we're able to get the pick with our 1. The Morgan transforms into Hera. We get a polymorph onto the Serb, get him with the 1. He dashes, so we're going to use our ultimate. That gets the knockup. We're going to activate our 3. That's going to radiate damage, and he's going to do some bonus damage. We use our beads to avoid the push. We hit the 2 and the 1, and we get the pick right there. Apollo's here. Apollo goes down to the Morgan. So right now we have a pretty good stack of teammates in mid. We could probably pressure this Apollo or this Raw out. We got some good damage. We're gonna fall back a little bit. Kumba uses his ultimate, and Raw goes down. We're gonna keep working on the tower. Hopefully our team will help. So I make the call to go for Fire Giant. I think it's doable. We're going to set up some wards. Pretty sure the Apollo ult is down. We're going to go ahead and start it. Scotty is going to be a majority of the damage. Hercules is rotating in. Time to peel back. Bologna goes down to the Fire Giant. Kumba is getting CC'd. Right here, I am pretty out of everything. I really should back right here, but I don't want to leave my teammates. We have our ultimate. We're going to go ahead and cast it. We get the knockup onto 1, but then he chases Cerberus instead of the Apollo. We're going to cast our 1. We overstayed, and we're going to go down for it. So that was a very bad turn of events. We got the tier 1 tower, or the tier 2 tower in mid. Oh, it was the tier 2 tower. Sorry. We got the tier 2 tower in mid, and then we made a play for Fire Giant. Then, as we were damaging it, Hercules shows up, is able to get the pick onto the Scotty. I think Scotty was taking damage from the Fire Giant, as in she was the one who had the aggro. Because she got melted. Anyway, we got our Soul Reaver online. Soul Reaver is a great item for going against tanks. If Cerberus has a million health, we're going to be removing 2% of that each time we damage him with an ability. So it's just a great way to make sure that you're doing a decent amount of damage. Looks like they are scoping out Fire Giant a little bit. Oh my goodness, 3 people. We're going to activate our 3, blink away. We don't want any part of that. We're kind of hanging out on this corner, see if anyone oversteps. Does not look like they're going to. We're going to activate our 2. We get the double polymorph. Hercules is pressuring us. Kumba's able to get the pick onto the Hun Bats. Our team gets ulted by Serb. We're going to rotate up. We do have our ultimate. We're looking for a good target. We use it onto the Apollo, but then he changes his attention to the Ra. We're going to use our abilities. Looks like Ra was able to get out. We're going to use Apollo as our next target for Argus. We get tagged by the Ra. We activate our 2. We're able to get the Apollo. We get a pick right there. We activate our 1. We miss the Ra. Ra is doing a pretty good job at predicting where I'm going to be with his line attack. We use Argus, and Ra is able to clean me up.
And pay the ultimate price.
So our team fight is not looking too fantastic. In order for us to win this game and these team fights, we need to get Apollo and Ra out of the team fights before our Scotty and the Morgan fall. We essentially need to pick their squishy characters before they pick our squishy characters. After going into Soul Reaver, we are going to be going into Chronos Pendant. I think it's time to just max out our cooldowns. Let's use Hera and her ultimate as often as possible. We have our ult in about 15 seconds. We're just going to try to hold this left Phoenix. We use our 2, we use our 1, we get some good damage. Hercules uses his dash. We do have our ultimate in just a little bit. We use our 1, get some damage off. We get blinked on. We're going to cancel Serb out of his fire. And here's the Hun Bat. So here's what the character that we actually need to worry about. We use our ultimate. We want to at least get our ultimate off before we die. We're able to get the pick onto the Hun Bats, and we're able to get the pick onto the Cerberus. We're going to keep pressuring up. Hercules is in jungle, so we're going to send Argus onto him. We activate our 2. So now's a great time to keep pressing forward. Apollo is weak. We're able to get the pick onto him. Now it's just the enemy Ra left. We should be able to push for a Phoenix here. We just need to group. We need Scotty with us. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it without Scotty. In fact, I do not believe we can do this without Scotty. We get our 2 off. We're able to delay them from pushing up a little bit, but unfortunately, we are not able to get much there. Hun Bats makes a play for the Scotty. We get some great damage off onto the Hun Bats. We miss our 1. Kumba's able to clean him up. Ra cleans up the Scotty. So we've lost one of our damage characters. They've lost 2 of their damage characters. Apollo is now up. He's probably going to ult in. We use our polymorph, try to save this Kumba. Looks like he's going to go down. We're not going to sell ourselves, trying to protect them. So we're going to try to get some vision on Gold Fury. We are falling back on the map right now. So going for Gold Fury is not the best play, but getting some vision on it can be very helpful. We're going to activate our 3, get our 1 off. We're trying to get Hercules away from us. We use our polymorph. We're going to keep falling back. We're going to use our 1. We do have our ultimate, but our team gets wiped, so we're going to start falling back. Looks like it's up to Hera to defend the Phoenix. Not concerned about Serb or the Hercules. We are concerned about the Apollo, so we're going to use Argus onto the Apollo. We're going to start using all of our abilities. Ra melts us. Was not expecting that level of damage from him. In fact, I'm checking his build just to try to gauge what that was. I mean, I did run at him in a straight line while he blinded me. We were just going for the Apollo, which it looks like we got. Our team gets cleaned up. Now it's just the Bologna. Scotty is respawning. Morgan's also up. Morgan runs out, gets ulted. Scotty's able to get the pick onto the Hun Bats.
Bring me another.
The Morgan transforms into the Hercules. Bologna gets a good bludgeon off. The Morgan is about to go down.
Oh, look.
And we are up. So right lane needs a little bit of help because there are minions pressuring the Phoenix.
Double kill.
We're going to go ahead and clean that up. Their tanks are moving forward onto the Titan. As long as Ra and Apollo aren't damaging the Titan, we should be a-okay. We have our ultimate, but we're kind of saving it for that defensive push, or at least to get a pick onto the Ra or Apollo. Or just cast it on nobody. And that's a great way to use it as well. We get our one-off onto the Apollo. Argus is still chasing down the Hercules. We're going to peel back a little bit because we know that enemies are behind us. Get our polymorph off. Get our one off. Unfortunately, it was not enough damage to get anyone. Argus is about to go down, and it's just us alive. We're going to start wiggling around. We missed our polymorph. The Morgan's able to get the pick onto the Hercules. Apollo is really hurting. We are able to get a little bit of peel from the Scotty, and we're going to fall back to our fountain. Heal up a little bit, and get ready for the charge.
Impeccable form. Can anything stop you?
So the Morgan gets picked. We hit Apollo with our polymorph. We hit him with our 1. We're going to activate our 3. Wiggle around a little bit. Looks like Scotty was a little short of being able to clean up the Apollo, which is unfortunate. So we are just defending, trying to survive. We get some damage onto the Hun Bats. We're going to use our... That wasn't our... Was that our ultimate? Or was that the Morgan? That was our ultimate. Bologna is able to get the pick. We sent Hun Bats over the wall right into Bologna. We're going to go ahead and pick up our speed buff. The enemy team has made a play for the Fury. It was an owning Fury, which means Fire Giant is probably open. So we're going to at least go for Pyromancer. Pyromancer is going to make it to where whenever you leave Fountain, you're going to gain 40% increased movement speed for 15 seconds. So it's going to help you get to lane a little bit quicker. Apollo is ulting in. We're going to activate our 3, try to avoid a lot of that damage. Hercules is here. We are pretty weak, but we're going to do our best to stay alive and help our teammates. We cast the polymorph. And we know it's time to back.
Looks like we have a fearless warrior on our hands.
Morgan gets picked. She was a little far up on the map. We have been defending for a minute in this game now. Looks like they're making a play for Fire Giant. We may be able to steal it with our ultimate. We're going to go ahead and blink in. A little early. We're going to cast our ultimate. The enemy is able to secure it. Argus is on the enemies instead of on the Cerberus, which is right in front of me. Hercules is now pressuring me. We're going to use our beads and start running away. Use our polymorph. Get the Cerberus with it. We're going to activate our 3. That's an ult from the Hercules. We're going to use our 1, but unfortunately they were able to chase us down and get us. We probably shouldn't have turned back around to cast our polymorph. We probably should have just kept running. they are able to get the left Phoenix, and they might even have the game right here. Well, I felt like we had a pretty good game as Hera jungle. We made some good rotations. We were able to get a couple of multi-kills. Unfortunately, our team fight just was not there. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps the videos out. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. The stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.